this right now is how to save your law firm. And that's something that it's kind of a scary title, but it's also a title that I really want to, let me see if my slides, I'm looking on Facebook here. It's a scary title, but it's a necessary title because honestly, there's a lot of law firm owners that are really scared right now and don't know what to do and don't know, frankly, how they're going to keep their employees, how they're going to come through this thing. And what I want to do is I want to show you a strategy that you can use today that will actually get you clients. If you use this strategy, it will get people coming in the door. It will well, not come into the door because we're socially distancing, but it will get people that are going to be aware of you, and it will put you in front of people. And there's a free version of this. There's a paid version of this. And you know, it's working really well right now. I've given this advice to a few lawyers already, and they have already gotten consultations out of it. Today's Thursday. On Monday, I gave this advice to somebody, and they already got a consultation. Now, if you have any questions, feel free to ask in the chat. I'm not going to be able to see the comments right now, and I'm actually live streaming a few different places, so hopefully I'll be able to see the chat. But I'm just going to dive right into this and just kind of go right into it. So this is going to be how to save your law firm. So the first thing you need to understand is right now, social media usage is through the roof. You know, everyone is home, they're bored, they're watching Netflix, they're watching Hulu, and while they're doing that, they're sitting there scrolling through their phones. So there is an opportunity that you can absolutely take advantage of the fact that everybody's attention is focused right here, right now. And everybody's bored, everybody's scared, and everybody has a lot of questions. And social media is really where you need to be, and it's really going to be how you can save your law firm and how you can really you really just kind of take this ball and run with it. And it's something that a lot of lawyers, a lot of your competitors definitely are not doing. So what we're going to talk about today. First of all, we're going to take a look at what's happening. And then I'm going to show you some real results from real campaigns from real lawyers that we're actually running right now. I'm also going to show you some results from my personal campaigns. Anyone that knows who I am knows I run a ton of ads. Just in the last 2 weeks, we've spent about $16,000 on my own ads. And we've done so profitably, even in all this craziness. And I want to show you kind of how we did it. But more importantly, I'm going to give you an idea of exactly what you should do. And spoiler alert, you're going to be using social media, and that's the way you're going to save yourself in this whole thing. It's the way you're going to save your law firm. And I'm going to provide examples for each law firm, show you exactly, you know, what you can do by law firm, and just kind of help you out that way. So a quick overview of the social media strategy that I've been preaching for 2 or 3 weeks now since this thing started happening. Really the last kind of week or so, if you've seen anything that I've talked about, it's been talking about using this strategy right here. The first thing you need to do is you need to make a list of all the problems and all the fears that your ideal clients currently have. Right now, everybody's scared. Everybody's got a lot of problems that they're new problems that they didn't have maybe even 2 weeks ago. They're new fears. They're scared. They're scared of getting sick. They're scared of losing their house. They're scared of how they're going to pay their bills. They're scared of getting food or how to get food. There's tons of fear out there right now. And what you need to do is you need to figure out who are your ideal clients and what are the problems that they have and what are the fears that they have right now. And literally pull out a piece of paper and make a list. That's kind of what you want to start doing. The next thing you need to do is you need to create high value videos about those problems. Every single one of those problems should be its own video. Every single one of those should be a problem. You talk about the problem, and then you talk about the solution to that problem, or you talk about maybe what the truth is or provide information about that problem. And then what you do, if they watch the videos, you show them more videos. That's pretty much what you do. That's the entire strategy right there. So you make a list of the fears and the problems. You create high value content that actually helps people solve those problems and address those fears. And then when they watch the videos, you show them more videos. That's the way to do it. Now, what's happening right now, like I said, people are sitting home bored. So now is the easiest time to reach people. They're just staring at their phones all day long. So a lot of businesses are panicking and they're actually starting to, or I should say they're starting to stop using advertising, which is crazy because like if advertising, and I guess there's two ways of looking at it, but for me, the way I look at it is that if advertising is what brings people in the door, and the problem is that we're not getting people through the door, why would we stop advertising? That makes no sense to me. Now, I understand that it's very tempting to try to save cash, but in my opinion, that's the wrong way to do it. I don't think that that's the right way to do it. I think there's other things that are less crucial that can be cut than advertising. But I do understand it. And honestly, if you don't have money for advertising, you can still use this strategy and still knock it out of the park. You don't have to be spending money on ads right now for this strategy to work. The other thing is that because people are not using advertising, because a lot of advertisers are pulling out of the market, there's a lot more inventory on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, LinkedIn, all those different platforms. There's a lot more inventory and it's a lot cheaper to advertise on them right now. So what does that actually mean? Like what does this mean? Well, the best part is it means you can reach more people for less money, which is awesome. And it also gives you the chance to actually get in front of people and really tap into things that are emotional for them. People are very afraid of losing things right now. They're afraid of losing their house, afraid of losing family members and things like that. And I'm not saying that that's something that you can exploit, but what I'm saying is that that's something that's going to make them pay attention and make them really hang on to every word that you say. So it's very important that you get this information to them because there's so much bad information right now. You can't trust anything that's on social media. So if you can actually calm people's fears by giving them good information, by giving them good, solid information, then they're going to trust you. They're going to hang on every word you say, and they're going to contact you, and then they're going to want to hire you. So this works really well. This is kind of the strategy that I've been using this strategy for like 2 years now, but even more so, like I'm just getting inundated with lawyers that are contacting me right now. And it's because I use the exact strategy that I'm going to teach you. So your competitors are spending less money on ads. They're not spending anything. So what that means is that you can be out there, you can be out in front of people, and there's really no competition. So it's a major, major opportunity. Everything is an opportunity depending on how you look at it. Now, content, when it's done right, is the key to saving, sustaining, or growing your law firm. If you want to do any of those three things, content is the way to do it. And I've said it for years now, and I will continue to say it for the rest of my career. Content is what it's all about, especially if you do it correctly. So I want to show you some things real quick, and I'm looking over here at my screen, so that's why I'm not looking at my the camera right now. But these are my ads. Now, this is comparing two date ranges. It's basically March 13th, which is the day that that was the last day my kids were in school, was March 13th. So comparing March 13th through today compared to the previous period. So basically, I'm comparing February 29th to March 12th. I'm comparing February 29th through March 12th to March 13th through March 25th. So, if you look, I've got two things highlighted. I've got reach and I've got impressions. Now, reach means how many individual people did I reach, and impressions means how many times did it appear. So if I show you 3 ads, that would be 1 reach and 3 impressions. Now, take a look at the bottom. I reached 64% more people in that time period because advertising got a lot cheaper. I spent the same amount of money and I reached 64% people. Now, if you look at the left, it says change. I reached 91,500 people, actually 91,489 people more, 91,489 more people than I did for the same amount of money the previous period. And I actually got 235,000 more impressions. My impressions were up 66% in the second period because everything's cheaper and less people are advertising. And I spent the same amount of money and I got more than double the value out of it. I reached more than double the people. Now, this is a personal injury attorney down in Miami. Now, their reach was up 37%, actually almost 38%, 37.86%. They reached an extra 3,100 people, and their impressions were up 38%. But check this out. This is their leads. Now, this is actually the only example that I have where we're actually tracking leads running right through Facebook. So if you look all the way on the left, they spent 0% more. So their ad spend was exactly the same. It was $194.94 during the 2 periods. However, if you look, and it looks like I'm actually cut off, but you can see the 0% change on the left side. If you look at their leads, their leads went from 2 leads in the first period to 12 leads. And the cost per lead dropped by 83%. So basically during the second period, during this recession period, they got 12 leads at $16 a piece. Before that, they got 2 leads at $97 a piece. That's kind of what's happening right now. It's really pretty crazy how some of this stuff is actually happening. Now, this is an immigration lawyer. Let's see if it'll get cut off. Hopefully it won't get cut off. I'm looking at my screen here. But basically, they spent the same amount of money. You can actually see they spent 37 cents less in the recession period, and they reached 14% or almost 15% more people. Here's a criminal defense lawyer. They spent $1.57 less in the second period than they did in the first period, but they reached 23% more people. And both of these clients are getting, we're not tracking their leads through Facebook, but they're getting really good results. Now, here's my biggest observation of this entire thing, and this is looking at my ads. And my biggest observation is that my ads that provide value and help people, those are the ones that are doing better. If you look at the right, these are my top probably, I don't know, maybe there's like 20 ads there. These are my top performing ads out of everything that I have going right now. The only ones that are not providing value, that are not value driven, are the ones that are checked. So there's 3 ads there. They're highlighted basically. There's 3 ads there that are not providing value. Every single other ad on there is providing value, and these are my top ads. And you can see some of these ads. The top one, the performance increased by 3,700%. The second one, the one below that, 2,700%. So the point is that the ads that are providing value and answering questions and helping people, those are the ones that are doing really, really well. So what does that tell you? Basically, you can reach more people, and if you help people and provide value and provide answers to questions and solutions to problems, then your performance is in your reach and your impressions, and the number of people that you actually reach is going to go through the roof. It's pretty crazy what's happening right now. So what do you do now? What I'm going to do is I'm going to kind of give you the blueprint of what to actually do, and then we'll kind of take it from there. So the first thing you want to do is you want to make a list of all the problems and the fears that your ideal clients currently have. And there's so many different things that are going through the heads of your ideal clients. So let me just give you some examples. So first of all, bankruptcy attorneys. There's so many questions that people have, and this is just a small percentage of them. So they're thinking, how will they pay their bills? How will they keep their house? Is there any financial help available to them? What if I can't make credit card payments? How do I handle debt collectors? Things like that. And these are what people are thinking right now. I think yesterday they said like 3.2 or 3.8 million people filed for unemployment, just this week alone. So people are worried about these things. What you need to do is you need to create content that talks about all these things and addresses their fears and helps solve problems. For criminal defense attorneys, there's tons of stuff you can talk about, everything from crime to actually civil rights and things like that. So you could talk about what are the lockdown rules? What are the rules during a lockdown? What are your rights? What does a curfew mean for you? Domestic violence topics. Domestic violence is a big topic right now because people are locked in houses with each other. They're drinking more and maybe they don't like each other that much. Talk about domestic violence. Talk about conflict ability. Talk about what do you do if you're on probation or parole and you can't meet with your probation officer, or your parole officer. What if you have loved ones that are in jail? Are they safe? What happens to court dates that are pending? What about minor things like speeding tickets and parking tickets? And what about people who have addiction, like that need Alcoholics Anonymous or Narcotics Anonymous? What are those types of what do those people do? What are the solutions to their problems? For family law, you can talk about custody arrangements. You can give child support information. If now you're unemployed and you still have to make child support payments, what are you supposed to do? That's obviously not something you were planning for maybe even a week ago. Talk about domestic violence, talks about disagreements about social distancing. So if one parent has different feelings on social distancing than the other parent, How do you handle that? How does that get enforced? You can talk about family safety. You can talk about information about home education, about homeschooling, different things like that. For immigration, you can talk about visa delays. You can talk about how to return to the United States if you have a visa and you're overseas. You can talk about the status of current immigration courts and different things related to that. You can talk about removal information, all those types of things, anything you can think of related to immigration. Employment, obviously there's a ton to talk about employment right now, but how to file for unemployment, when was a firing illegal, when are they allowed to fire you, which are the industries that are actually hiring right now, how to get sick leave, talk about severance info, talk about what to do if you're furloughed, all kinds of stuff like that. Anything that you can think of, create a video on it and help people with it. Personal injury attorneys. There's a lot of things you can talk about. One was like business disruption insurance. Somebody was bringing that up. Another thing you can talk about, like, can business owners be held liable if they're supposed to close and then somebody goes there and gets sick? I don't know if they can or not, but it's a good question. Talk about how to take precautions if you're working. Talk about if you're working, is your employer responsible if you get sick, if you have to work? What does insurance cover and what does not? What does insurance not cover? If jobs can be done remotely and you still have to go into work, can you sue your employer if you get sick? What about insurance companies if you have a pending claim? Are they processing claims? Are they not processing claims? What are you supposed to do with that? And then what do you do if you get injured right now and you can't get medical attention because the hospitals are packed? There's all kinds of questions. There's so many more things that you can talk about than just this, but these are some good things you can talk about. Elder law, you can talk about keeping parents in assisted living safe. You can talk about healthcare directives. You can talk about all kinds of stuff things to look for in a nursing home, safety things, all types of stuff like that about how to keep parents safe. Estate planning is huge right now. You can talk about healthcare directives. You can talk about what documents are needed right now. You can talk about how to quickly put a plan together. You can do all that type of stuff. People are even having estate planning, healthcare directive parties, I think, where they're basically giving away free healthcare directives, and then they're actually kind of having like going on live on Zoom or something, and they're sharing content that way. The other thing is business lawyers, handling layoffs, how to handle unpaid bills, how to work with landlords and your lease if you have a lease and maybe you can't afford it. Like, what are some negotiation tactics and things like that? How to go virtual with your business, how to get SBA assistance. There's so many different things that you can do. And I see that my thing's a little cut off here. I apologize for that. But so that's what you need to do, is you need to make a list of all the problems and all the fears that your ideal clients currently have. And then what you need to do is you need to create high value videos about those problems. Now, a couple tips about creating videos. First of all, use your iPhone, use your Android phone. It doesn't need to be fancy. And then what you want to do is you want to create a short 1 to 3 minute video that addresses the problem and gives a solution. You want to post the video to Facebook and Instagram and LinkedIn and YouTube and Twitter and all those different places. And you've got a couple different ways that you can do that. If you don't want to spend any money, then the first thing you can do is you can actually post the video to your personal page and you can try to get your friends and family to share it. And as long as the videos provide high value information and they're not don't do free consultations, don't do any of that stuff. Just basically talk to the camera like you're talking to a friend, just offer to help and just make sure that you provide as much value as possible. So you can post that to your personal page. And we actually have a client who's doing that, and he's already gotten consultations. And all he's doing is just posting videos with answers to problems to his personal page. His friends and family are sharing it because it's really valuable, and he's getting people that are direct messaging him, and he's gotten consultations on it. You can also post to your business page and then share the post using your personal page. Now, this is if you're going to run some Facebook ads, and I think that this is a really good method because you don't have to spend a ton of money. You don't have to spend, thousands of dollars like I do. You can spend, $20-$30 a day maybe, and probably even less than that. I mean, probably $10-$15 if you really wanted to, and make this strategy really work. Now, something you always want to remember is you always want to talk to the camera like you talk to a friend. So you don't want to be a lawyer in the sense of feeling like one of those TV lawyers, like, if you've been in an accident, call me today. You don't want to do that. What you want to do is you want to think about, like, if a friend of yours got into a car accident or a friend of yours was having a child custody issue, would you tell them to call you on Friday for a free consultation? Or would you say, well, just, send me a message, or, give me a call and we'll kind of talk about it and I'll figure out how to help. I'll figure out what you need to do. That's what you want to do. At the end of the videos, you can always say, listen, if you found this video valuable and you think that other people might find it helpful as well, then what I want you to do is I want you to share this video with anyone who needs it. And if you're watching this video and you have questions or you need help, leave a comment below and I'll help you out. Or even better yet, send me a direct message and we'll talk and I'll help you with whatever you need. And if I can't help you, then I'll point you in the direction of somebody that can. That will get people to contact you, and it's the best way to do it. A lot of times what you can do also is you can use the hook story offer method when you're actually telling these stories, when you're actually creating this content. So hook story offer is basically you state the problem right in the beginning of the video, so that hooks them in. Then you tell a story about the actual problem, because people remember stories better than they remember facts and figures. And then at the end, you make an offer. Now, it's not an offer like call me today for a free consultation, but the offer is if you need help, send me a direct message and I'll point you in the right direction. I'll give you some information, or if you need, if you don't have healthcare directives, send me a message. I'll send you a free copy, and I'll even send you a video and showing you how to fill them out properly. The other thing, like I said, forget the word consultation. Do not put the word consultation anywhere near that. You don't want it to feel salesy, because the second it feels salesy, it feels sleazy and people will not share it. So if it's just high value, then people will share it. And like I said, I always like DM me if you have questions. That's kind of one of my favorite things. And here's another thing. When you're posting it, make sure that you actually select public. You can see on the right side there that you can actually basically change the visibility. Make sure that you have public selected as your visibility, because otherwise nobody will be able to see it and they might not be able to share it. So by selecting public, you can make it so that as many people see it as possible. All right, so you have your list of problems and fears that your ideal clients currently have. You have created your high value videos that talk about these problems. And now if they watch these videos, you're going to show them more videos, and it's very easy to do. So what you're going to do is you're going to share the video from your business page, and then you're going to go into Business Manager in Facebook, and you're going to create a custom audience of people who watch 25% of your first video. So all you do is you go to Facebook, you click audiences, and then you click new custom audience, and then you select video views. In there, you're going to be able to select the video, and then you just select the video, and you can see right there, I have it selected as people who have watched 25% of your videos. Now, I did in the last 30 days because that means that it's recent. You don't want people that have, it's basically people that are recently aware of you. Now, I named the audience 25% viewers in the last 30 days. Now, when you create more videos, you can show those videos to people in that 25% viewers in the last 30 days audience. And what that means is that whenever somebody watches 25% of one of your videos, which by the way, if these videos are like, a couple minutes long, 25% is an eternity online. If they're not interested, they're just going to keep scrolling. They're not going to watch 25% of a video on, healthcare directives if they're not interested in it. So what this means is that you're creating a warm audience, and then you can show this, this content to people in that audience. And you can see in this example, I was showing basically anyone that's watched 25% of that video in the last 30 days that lives within 25 miles of Dallas, Texas. And you can start getting really honed in on your audience, and it works really well. Now, a couple more tips. First thing is, do not expect this to work the first time. You're going to have to do this a couple times. You might have to do it 3, 4, 5 times before you start getting any results. But do it every day. The more you do it, the better, because I promise you it will work. I promise you it will work if you just do it. You want to pay close attention to the topics that are actually getting shared and what's getting value and what people are sharing and asking questions about. And the topics that no one really talks about, you want to pay attention to that as well. And you want to double down on the topics that are actually getting comments and getting shares and getting likes and getting stuff like that, because that's what people are interested in. You always want to listen to your audience and see what they're actually interested in, because what you're interested in talking about is not always what they're interested in hearing about, or it's not necessarily what they're worried about. So you have to pay attention to what your audience is saying to you. And then you also want to pay attention to questions that you get. Add them to your list whenever you're getting questions that you haven't heard yet, that people haven't talked to you about yet. or sorry, that you haven't thought about, then write them down and add them to the rotation. You want to keep building out that list and keep answering questions and keep recording videos. The other thing you can do is you can send clips to media outlets. And basically what you can do is you can actually, look up local reporters, go to Google and search for reporters of different, at your local, ABC, NBC, CBS affiliates. And then what you can also do is you can, go on Twitter and find your local reporters and tweet at them and send them direct messages and things like that. And if you do all of this, I promise you will have good results. Now, if you want my help with any of this, then what I want you to do is I want you to go to call.andrewstickel.com. And what we can do is we can basically talk to you. We can figure out, we can learn a little bit about your law firm. We can figure out, if we can help you, if you're a good fit for kind of what we're trying to do. And then if you want my help, then we can kind of let you know what that looks like. But this is enough to get you started. This is basically what you need to do. This is the exact blueprint that I use for my law firm, for my marketing company, and to help my clients as well, especially clients in times when there's like a crisis. So please, if you have any questions, and actually I realize I have a meeting, so I don't have time to answer any of the Q&A right now. But if you have any questions, send me a direct message, or leave a comment, and I will answer it when I'm finished with this meeting. But otherwise, I hope this was helpful, guys. Let me go back in here. So yeah, I hope it was helpful. And like I said, go to call.andrewstickel.com, fill out the short survey if you want my help. Otherwise, watch this video back a couple times, take some notes, and we'll get through this thing together. It's not going to be that bad. There's hope on the other side, and we'll get it done. So I hope you guys have a good day. We'll talk to you soon.